The B-side in boxing.
B-side shit.
B-side.
B-side and the B-side.
You got a B-side.
The B-side.
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 That B-side thing.
This is the B-Sides Boxing Podcast.
Have you ever said, do you say Merry Christmas? Because that's what I hear everybody say. I've been trying to get myself in the habit of saying Happy Christmas because fuck you. That's really the only reason I have.
Just to piss everyone off?
Yep, that's the only reason.
I said Happy Holidays to someone here, confused the fuck out of them. They have no idea what that saying means.
There's more than one? What the fuck does that mean?
Well, they thought I meant have a nice Sunday.
I normally just go with Happy or Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's keep it clean.
The classic.
Yeah.
Man.
Christmas is not a thing here. My Christmas Day, the big event is my boss buys us lunch, and there is a birthday cake for Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. It says Merry Christmas, but it's a birthday cake. And I asked why, and they're like, well, it's Jesus' birthday today. Don't you guys all eat birthday cake for Jesus? It's like, I don't think I've ever had anything except fruitcake at Christmas.
Fruitcake.
But it's decorated like a birthday cake.
No, not once have I ever had a birthday cake. Even with like extended relatives who were pretty religious, and like their little family circle was really religious, and they didn't have one. Who the fuck has a birthday cake?
Japan. It's KFC and birthday cake for Jesus.
I've never seen that before. I'm not lying.
Well, there's that.
Sometimes their interpretations are very funny. I enjoy it.
There's that one scene in Full Metal Jacket where the drill instructor sings "Happy Birthday, Dear Jesus." That's
Joke.
Yeah. Well,
We got.
it is Christmas Day. Happy Christmas, you fucks, from the Boxing B-Sides. Joined by Shinada. Isaac, glad you could
Hello.
join me on such a monumentous birthday day. Well, as is B-Sides tradition, in the spirit of the holidays, we're gonna give a gift to our compatriots over at the Ultimate Fucking Casuals. On December 14th, Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. Isaac, very good that you're here. Thoughts? Is Colby Covington done?
At the elite level, yes. And I feel like we might see him fight like one more time, but no more title shots. 100%, no more title shots. And then I don't know, man. The fan base is really not having it anymore with Colby Covington. They were chanting "Colby sucks."
Yeah, I heard that
for like an entire round. I think he's done. He might get. I don't think he'll like retire yet, or he's not gonna be cut from the roster. But maybe like one more fight, and that'll be it.
You don't think he'll Anthony Smith it and go on just way too long?
No, I don't see him. I don't see him doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, losing to Buckley is not bad. Buckley is like on a 4-fight winning streak, maybe even more. I think actually it might be like 6.
He's on a hot streak for sure.
Yeah. So like it's not like, oh, he lost to Buckley. He's a terrible fighter. It's not like that. But his age, I mean, he sort of got ran over as well. Like I would sort of say a steamroll. His face was really
bloody mess.
Like touched, bleeding a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say maybe one more fight he's got in him. I don't know against who, but maybe they could do like he's got beef with Wonder Boy. I could see them trying to do that. Like a loser leaves town or something like that. Since there's somewhat of a storyline there, but yeah, he's done. He's cooked.
Battle of the Hamper Men.
Yeah. I would be crushed if Colby beat Wonder Boy as well. That actually hurt.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Stephen Thompson to say, but seeing Colby Covington lose again would definitely land for me.
100%, yeah.
Oof. Well, given that today that you're hearing this, the 21st, we know what happened then, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about that next time. So, in our recap portion, Saturday, December 14th, was a busy day. Some that we can just glide through. For example, boxer, fucking Natasha Jonas defeats Ivana Habazin for the IBF and WBC titles to unify them. So congrats to Natasha. Golden Boy card. I cherry picked this one because there's like 15 fucking fights on this, and the 3 that I have listed, I'm going from the top down. This is the order of how much I care, and the drop off from number 1 to the next is very steep. So first up, Charles Conwell, KO7 over Gerardo Vergara. It was a fucking Charles Conwell's on the come up. This guy's legit. I hope he leaves Golden Boy, so you can get some serious fights.
Yeah, we all know Golden Boy is where careers go to die.
Yeah,
we get locked up.
It's where hopes and dreams go to fucking die. So Charles Conwell, I know you're listening, buddy. Friend of the show. When you want to come on and chat, talk about how you're going to leave Golden Boy, let me know. Moving down, this is where the drop off of how much I give a shit is very apparent. Alexis Rocha, majority draw over Raul Curiel. I just really struggle to care about Alexis Rocha. You got to be pretty down bad if this is your main event.
I watched this one. The fight itself was fine, I guess. Like, they threw a lot of punches.
Yeah,
that's like A for effort, or E for effort. Thank you.
They hit each other at least.
Yeah, but I mean, that's better than a boring fight that has no punches.
True.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen way worse. We survived Rigo versus Casemiro, so we've seen
Jesus.
way worse. And we, the current Shakur pandemic as well that we've been going through. So, yeah, I mean, I guess by those standards in comparison, but yeah.
The pillow fist pandemic. Devin Haney.
It's gonna get
Shakur
worse.
Stevenson.
It's gonna get worse. Shakur injured his hands, bro. Shakur's gonna be healing people.
He's gonna be fighting in winning gloves.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're gonna need to give him some type of handicap, like give Shakur like some lighter gloves, 4-ounce gloves. Give him some MMA gloves out there, so he can hit
Let
a
him
little bit
put
harder.
plasters in.
Yeah.
Yeah, help him out a little bit. Eddie needs to work on that. Whoever he's with, I don't know. Shakur's.
I think he's a free agent.
I don't even think he knows where he's at the moment. He just bounces around. And he's getting Eddie one day, top rank the next.
How would you rate Rocha Curiel versus Hitchinson Paro?
I'd rather watch Rocha, I think.
Goodness gracious. I too dislike Richardson Hitchens that much.
Clinchins.
Yeah. And last thing that I wanted to point out on this one, Marlon Esparza, UD over Areli Musino. I only point this out because I think Marlon Esparza is pretty cute, so that's really it. No other reason. Moving on, Marv Nation. There were several fights on this card. Not very many of them were good. So the first one to point out, this was the main event. It was Fernando Vargas Jr. versus Matthew Terry. Gets stopped at the end of the 4th, beginning of the 5th. You know, that little intermission there. The doctor stopped it on a cut, and since 4 rounds had been completed, it went to decision, and it was unanimous. And more importantly, for me, this was the main event for me. Mark Magsayo, KO2 over Brian Mercado. My only note for this one was levels, because there's fucking levels to this game, and you're not on Magsayo's. Sorry, Brian.
I really like Magsayo.
I do too.
Yeah, I've been on the hype train for him for a while. He doesn't fight that often. He needs more fights.
No, he does. It's just that they're against like this Thunder Studios bullshit where he's fighting like nobodies when he should be in title contention. His only losses are to Figueroa and Ray Vargas, both of which he was extremely competitive. So
Fair enough. Maybe I just don't see very many of his fights because it's so low level and not fun.
Yeah, that's why I try to. Whenever you see random shit on our outline, like there are certain, like if I see a name that is worth mentioning, like Mark Magsayo, it's definitely worth looking into. But I hope I don't know if he's moving up to lightweight permanently, or if he just didn't want to make the 130 cut for this fight in particular. But 135 is pretty heavy, pretty stacked. And
yeah, I feel like he should have been headlining this. I mean, I feel like Marv Nation.
Yeah, they did.
He needs to have him headline. He's gonna be with them.
I was expecting that it was like as I was kind of panning through looking for the particular fights I wanted to see, and I saw Vargas at the end or towards the end, and then I kind of kept scooching forward like, where's Mark? I want to see Mark fight. I don't give a fuck about all of these people. And he was the first one. Opening fight. That's
Really?
Yeah. Like,
What the fuck?
if I had a ticket to this, I would have, like, Mark comes out first, fight's over, I'm leaving. I don't give a fuck
Early
about
dinner.
any of these other people. Yeah, no shit. I don't want to see this.
Early dinner, yeah.
But there you go. Magsayo gets a quick stoppage and still looks good. But hopefully he can still do that against better competition. All right. In Monte Carlo, matchroom. Starting from the bottom up, Terramoana is this dude's name, stops Volodymyr Katsuk in the first, and then he does a haka afterwards. It was so cool. If you haven't seen this, go watch it. As more and more, I'm finding the DAZN subscription to be more and more worth its costs as more groups, more promotions and stuff sign on to it as their network.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying some of the, I don't want to say low level, but less prestigious DAZN cards. Like they're putting together decent mid cards, if that makes sense.
I think it's like the old adage of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Or
Yeah.
like sifting through the duds to find a good one.
That's what we do for you, and with DAZN, you can watch it later.
Yeah, that's why we're here. You don't have to look through all of this bullshit because we do it for you. All right, moving up, Maxi Hughes beats Gary Colley. The fucking skid continues for Gary, losing to two. What's the M word for small people? Maxi Hughes, very short compared to Gary Colley, just kicks his ass all 10 rounds. Sorry, Gary. Have you tried being not Irish?
Sorry,
Leonardo Mosquea, you get to keep your name, pal. Welcome to the Winners Club. Split decision over Shavon Clark. That decision is dog shit. Shavon Clark got his ass kicked the whole time. And it was... Oh, so there's a problem, though, with Mr. Mosquea here. So he's born in the Dominican Republic, but he's lived and continues to fight out of France.
Wah, wah.
So I'm not going to hold it against you because I'm just going to say you're Dominican, hermano. We're in there. The Winning Leos Club. Moving up, Beatrice Ferreira, UD over Licia Budersa, IBF lightweight title. Yeah, enjoy. And the headline, MJ Murodjon Akhmadaliev, TKO3 over Ricardo Espinoza, the interim WBA 122 belt on the line. My observations, MJ looked good. He was spamming this one technique where he was throwing out a left straight and kind of leaving it there for Espinoza to commit to something, and then he would catch him with a hook as he's coming in, and he just kept doing it. And while it was effective, obviously he got the stoppage, but it's like, bro, you can't keep doing the same shit. Somebody's going to pick up on the pattern, and that somebody holds the actual title that you're holding now. So
MJ calling Inoue a duck.
right. And Inoue is like,
Fucking hilarious.
like, you lost to Marlon fucking Topoles, so shut up.
Yeah, you don't see Inoue clapbacks very often, but I thought that one was quite effective.
Something about saying it in Japanese is just, it makes it like even more hilarious. The fact that you have to hit translate first.
Yeah. Well, because you don't expect it, or at least for me, I was like, oh, what does Inoue have to say? And then it's like, you lost to Palace. Why would I run from you? And you're like, ah, excellent.
I would have expected him to say, like, what I would have thought. Just at first, I get a notification tweet from Naoya Inoue. I would have expected it to say, like, oh, he looked pretty good. That'll be a great fight. We'll have a good challenge in front of us, or something like that. You know, something real. sportsmanlike.
I mean, it didn't seem super rude, but it
No.
was definitely like, why would I fight garbage like you?
Why would I be running from the guy who lost to who I knocked out? That does not make sense to me.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Right. So based on this, I still say MJ's a good fight for Inoue at 122. It's not for... I think that's like a kind of a... Just to really sweep everyone that's available.
Yeah, it is kind of the last guy he hasn't beaten.
I would understand if he doesn't. If it makes sense. Like
I want to see this dude at 126, man.
That's...
I want to see him at 126. I want to see some brisk. I know not
I
all
want-
Inoue fans share the sentiment, but
No, I don't want my boy to lose. I want Nakatani to come up. I think the Japanese super fight would be fucking awesome, and I think if Inoue goes to 126, it'll never happen.
I would be down for that. I would be down for that. Like you said, the Japanese like Super Bowl. It would be an amazing fight. I don't know, man. Something about. I mean, I think he could do well at 126. Just thinking about Ball versus Inoue, it would be fireworks, man. It would be fireworks.
Inoue taller than somebody?
That would be so funny, yeah.
Uh,
I think he'd get, like, I'm not saying, like, when I say I don't mean, like, oh, Inoue's gonna lose if he moves up. Like, I think he could genuinely, like, win. And, like, win titles at 126, too. So, he has the skill, for sure.
Yeah, I like watching him be dominant, and I think he'll be normal at 126. He won't be a superhero. He won't be a monster anymore. He'll just be good. It's like the same reason I don't like Halo ODST. You're now a stoppable killing machine.
Now I'm
I want to be
vulnerable.
an unstoppable. Yeah.
Bullets hurt me now.
I don't want to worry about him. I just want to watch him go beat people
yeah.
up.
It is risky like that. I mean, that's one of the big things about, like, you know, boxing in general. It's sort of fun when your guys are winning, or guys or girls are winning. I don't know, something about that risky fight where you don't quite know, can they actually do this? You know, am I gonna see my guy get laid out?
With other fighters, I like that.
I mean,
Just not with
but I
Inoue.
mean-
He's special to me.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I like getting those nerves up, that heart racing a little bit, you know, with Fury Usyk, obviously, and then, I mean, I felt the same, like, whenever Canelo fought Bivol, whenever he was doing his campaign at 168 for all the belts. I mean, there's that slight, you know, it's at the back of your mind, or, like, you know, the night before you dream, is my guy gonna get knocked out? Is he gonna lose? And it's, I don't know, it's part of the fandom. I don't know, it's really nice.
Yeah. I can get behind that with everyone else.
Looking at 126, if you wanted to just like snag a title, Angelo Leo is the, you know, obvious pick, because he was originally a 122 guy. So moving up to 126 to fight another guy who moved up as well, not a bad pick. Nick Ball for size, yeah.
I also think he could just outclass Nick Ball. I don't think Nick Ball's going to be able to keep up with Inoue footwork-wise.
No, he'll be just chasing after him.
Yeah.
I think it actually, like, end up cracking Ball. Ball's got power coming Inoue's way as well, but I think he'd be able to catch Ball, like, pretty badly. Espinosa's big though for the division, no?
Oh yeah, he's super tall.
Isn't he like moving up to 130 or something like that? Oh, that actually would be interesting, because there might be another vacancy at 126.
6'1" at 126 pounds. Goodness.
Yeah. The Fedor
6'1". That's almost, well, it's not a foot difference, but what, like 7-8 inches
Yeah,
difference?
it's a sizable difference.
That would be
Like
hilarious.
Inoue would
seeing
have
Ball.
to fucking jump to hit him in the face.
Ball versus Espinosa would be hilarious to see in the ring.
Cartoon ass fight.
Yeah, it is.
To bring it back to the Monte Carlo card to wrap it up, which round does MJ knock out Inoue, and why is it 4 or 5? I imagine you're turning red at the moment. So moving on. MJ's a good fight still, but yeah, there's still plenty of other options. The two super fights, Junto Nakatani for sure. That one is like a must. And Tenshin Nasukawa.
Yeah, I think Inoue makes Tenshin look like a child, but
I mean, fucking is. It doesn't matter how old
He's
he is.
not. He acts like he's
He acts
about
a fucking child.
17.
Right. Now, moving on. Zanfer Promotions in Tijuana. I'm going to cherry pick on my way up from the bottom. Sebastian Reyes versus Sergio Sosa. Sebastian wins in the 7th by stoppage. Alan Picasso, KO3 over Isaac Saki. It's a guy, just a very, very late replacement. I think like two or 3 days notice maximum. Stops him in the 3rd. Yeah. Sorry, bud. So, Picasso is very much of the same ilk as Sam Goodman in that they're both going to just completely outclass Inoue. 12 to nothing sort of performances.
He is the one they've been talking about having Inoue fight in Vegas, right?
Yeah, Picasso. Yep. It's
He get torn up.
He's gonna get fucking
He
murdered.
get torn up bad. Yeah, that's some bad. Like whoever the matchmakers are for that should feel shameful.
Right. Yeah.
Sending someone to slaughter is what it is.
That is exactly what it is. They are sending this kid to fucking slaughter. This guy's going to die.
His liver will never be the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, Alan. Your name is fun. And this fight might have been a masterpiece. But it's not. Please don't take this to think that you rate being in the same ring as Inoue. Jeez, what are we doing to these kids? Sam Goodman included.
Payday.
What are we doing?
What's that payday, man?
I guess.
Feeding. That's how I usually describe it. Feeding. You can get eaten alive.
Kudratillo, because he's from Uzbekistan. Abdukakarov, UD loss to who? ? Yes, Jorge Perez. Abdukakarov is done. Pack it up, boys. Go home, because that was garbage. Absolute garbage. I feel like a Principal Skinner with a pathetic head shake. I felt secondhand embarrassment watching that happen. I'm not
I missed this one. I was on a train.
Uzbekistan, the Punisher, whatever. I don't know what else to say about it. This is it for him. He lost. That's right. He lost the overtime, the semifinal. Fucking loser, dude.
That's so mean.
I don't know. It's just like the way that he was being such like a fucking pansy in the ring about everything, complaining about everything, throwing like cheap shots like behind the head and just like, why? You're a little asshole. Just stop fighting, please.
Not all Uzbeks can join the winning train. They're having a little bit of a surgency at the moment, but not all of them are aboard the winning train.
I would also like to put a caveat there. Hashtag not all Uzbeks.
Not all Uzbeks, yeah.
Not all Uzbeks.
It's true.
Man.
It's true.
Like Madrimov, solid. Akhmadaliev, he's good.
Oh, there's a ton of good Uzbeks right now.
Bektabuli.
They won like a ton of gold medals, right?
Fuck yeah, they've been coming out of the.
Yeah, like I swore they swept a lot of the upper weight divisions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That's a country we're going to be watching within the next decade. Maybe a lot of their fighters coming to the pros.
Since about I think the 2016 Olympics is when they had a lot of success there, and they've been coming into the pro ranks since then, and they've been tearing it up like fast.
Yeah, definitely a country to watch.
And last, I don't know what the song is to play. What's a really sad one?
Do you know that that meme voice thing? And it's like, that's my boy. Oh, no, my boy. That's what.
Yeah, we're gonna have to whip out the funeral. Have to whip out like the funeral trumpets for this one, like.
Taps. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to whip it out because man, this was wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So Bruno Brunello, the nickname, Saras stops Jaime Munguia in the 6th. It would look like
I legit did not believe this. Like, I was
I
on
saw
my
you
way
say
to
it.
Osaka, and the guys that tagged me on Discord, and they're like, "Did you see Munguia got knocked out?" And I was like, "You're fucking with me. There's no way this is true." It took a lot of people to convince me it actually happened. I could not believe Munguia got iced. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Bruno comes into this. He was 25-0 with 4 knockouts. Like 4 knockouts.
I'd only fought in France, right?
He
So
had never
has
fought outside of France. He was
only 4 knockouts against Frenchmen.
Comes into this. I remember, Isaac, you were here for the preview, and we were having a good laugh, like, "Oh, welcome to TJ, bitch." But
It
absolutely
happened again, bro.
not the case. Oh my goodness. Stops in the 6th. Looked like to me he was winning pretty handily. Jaime Munguia was like, he was in control of the situation until he gets, I don't know if he got overconfident or he got lazy or he was tired or what, but he's letting his hands drop, and Bruno backs up into the ropes as he had been doing most of the rounds, and Munguia throws a shot and he counters over the top of it, and that was it. He was like laid out, tries to get up and falls into the ropes. Right, if the ropes weren't there, he would have fallen over again, and so it gets waved off. In the immediate aftermath, he's sitting on the stool, and they have the camera on his face with like kick a guy while he's down, but they're talking to him and he's responsive and everything, so that's good. And he was just saying like, yeah, no, he hit me with a really good shot. Like, no, I'm okay. Me agarró con un chingazo. He hit me with a fucking hard punch.
Truer words have never been spoken, mate.
Yeah.
That boy got caught clean as hell. That gif of him, eating the straight right has been circulating like all over the internet. It is
He
perfect,
burned
man.
his head.
The way he got caught was outrageous. His head completely spun around. I mean, Munguia has a chin and all that, but like it's a reminder in boxing that if you get caught in a certain way, doesn't matter if you're known for your chin. If you try to play games, you're gonna get laid out. You're gonna get laid out bad, and it happened to Munguia. And like you even saw it. Like yes, he was dominating the fight, and he had even knocked down Bruno. But he was like in the second. It was second round, I want to say, but it was early on.
Round 2, yeah.
He was dominating, but I said this in the chat. Munguia started bullshitting too much.
Yep.
Started bullshitting way too much, and he just got caught, and that's just one of those shots you can't eat. And he had been toying with it in the rounds prior to it. He had gotten caught, I think, like on the temple 1 or 2 rounds before the actual knockout, and he escaped that time unscathed. But in the 6th, he rolled the dice, and it did not go well for him. He got laid out bad. Yeah, he got stopped. This is an embarrassing loss.
Very embarrassing.
This is an very embarrassing loss. This is like one of those cataclysmic for your career, I want to say. Because he just got, not just, but like very recently fought Canelo, and then you're going to lose to Bruno or Saras, whatever this French dude is called, number 51. And lose to a Frenchman in your hometown? Come on, bruh. In front of Julio Cesar Chavez? Senior? Come on, man. This is an L, and I was saying this is an L not just for him but for Mexico, man. This is outrageous. Like I don't know when the last time this has happened, but you don't see this. A Frenchman doesn't beat a Mexican normally. You don't see this. This is crazy. I was saddened. I can't justify this.
You can't explain.
There was no fast.
There's no good explanation.
He just lost. He just lost and lost badly. I don't know. You take it from here, though. I was sort of saddened by this. It was a lot to take in.
The bullshitting part is exactly right, because he had been like bull rushing Bruno. Like at the opening of every round, he would drive him into the ropes, and he'd unload to the body and open up shots to the head and everything. But he kept doing it. He kept doing the same thing. And Bruno, like, I wish that they had a fucking French translator, because I would love to hear what the corner was telling him, because clearly they made the adjustments. Eric Morales and Freddie Roach, were they like bickering over what to do? Because there was a lot of questions immediately, like, who the fuck was coaching him, and why were they not directing him properly? Because this is like, how do you fucking explain this? You got knocked the fuck out by a neighborhood good nobody. Jesus.
Yeah.
With no knockouts. That's the other thing. The guy has apparently no power, and you let him knock you out in your hometown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was like set up for Munguia to win. Like, everything aligned with. I'm gonna say it was supposed to be, can crushing.
It was a soft touch.
Yeah, like it's his hometown. Munguia, just signed a top rank. They were gonna, this is his first showing. He's gonna do well. They lined him up with someone ranked number 51. No knockouts. French. I mean, come on. Like, how much more can they stack it in your favor?
There's historical
The
storyline
French
too.
really, sorry.
Exactly.
The French really makes it worse.
It
Yes,
does.
yes.
It does.
Yes, I can't really explain. I mean, like Leo just said, historically, there's precedent between Mexico and France.
Yeah.
So it makes it way worse. I'm not gonna lie, Munguia. First of all, he has to rematch this dude.
Absolutely.
Not only beat him, knock him out. I still don't want them to make this in France.
Yeah, go to
I still don't want them
Marseille.
to make this in France.
Fight in Marseille,
and
where
finish
Bruno's
there.
from.
Yeah, I feel like you have to find some type of redemption here. Like,
That is the only
get some type of
redemption.
reputation back. Yeah, like this can't slide. You can't let this
Lennox
slide.
Lewis
Like, no one's
got
gonna
stopped
forget
in
about
like
it.
the first 3 rounds of some nobody fight, and then he rematched him and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, listen, Munguia. I mean, first of all, they have to do this rematch. You can't just ignore this. But
He already called up the rematch clause. Like,
Good.
that's
Rematch clause,
done.
Good.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad he did it. Same week almost. But he not only has to beat this dude, it has to be a demolition. Demolition. Either that or he's cooked. Like, if he goes to like a decision against Bruno, might as well hang up the gloves, because it's wraps for you.
He needs an Inoue Donaire too.
Yeah, he has to steamroll. It has to be a steamroll.
Silence the critics. Like that was a fucking fluke. He caught me. Yeah, but he got fucking lucky. That was like or not. I'm not gonna say lucky, but he caught lightning in a bottle, and that shit ain't gonna happen again. Or that it did not happen again, and I corrected it the second time. I hope you all will write that shit down.
Yeah, that's what people have to leave the rematch within their mind. They're like, oh, I guess he just got caught then. That's what it really was. Just gotta
Got tagged.
a little bit too careless. Yeah.
It happens. Hometown jitters, really big stage, like your childhood favorites right ringside watching you. I would probably shit my pants as well.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't get paid millions of dollars
I
to
don't.
do something.
I don't.
the reaction of some of the fans, like in the crowd in Tijuana, it was hilarious, because like in round 6, you saw like right before the knockout, some people were on their phones, not even looking at the fight. They're like, Munguia's got this in the bag, he's gonna win, not even paying attention. And then when Munguia falls, those people put their hands to their head like they can't believe what they just saw. Oh man, what made this hilarious for me as well was that I was watching the UFC simultaneously, and I had the Munguia feed muted, so I was hearing like the UFC audio, but I was also watching the Munguia fight. I didn't hear anything, but I just looked over and saw Munguia like on the ground, like struggling to get up. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then they showed the replay, and he just got cooked. He got cooked. I mean, our chat was exploding, man. Whenever that happened, no one could. We were watching it, and no one could believe what we were seeing.
I really thought the guys were just fucking with me because they knew I couldn't watch, that I was on a train somewhere.
Man, I was hands on the head, in disbelief. What's the meme gif of like the basketball coach who's just staring in disbelief, just blinking, like what the fuck just happened? Sweat pouring down his face. Yeah, that's kind of without the sweat though. Like that was me, hands on the head, like what? You're kidding me.
What am I
now.
saying?
Yeah, this isn't happening. I'm asleep. This is not happening.
Yeah. Massive.
One thing, I do want to give Bruno his flowers because that was a solid win. Assuming the rematch is next, depending on how that goes. Like if Bruno gets stopped in the rematch, do they do it a third time or do they move on from it?
I don't think Bruno will get the luxury of a trilogy if he loses.
A rematch? He won't get a rematch clause?
No. Maybe I'm underestimating, but I don't think Munguia's gonna sign a fight with a rematch clause.
This is like one of those like Cambosis-esque wins though. Like he has sort of made his career off this win now.
100%. Nobody knew who the hell this man was until this.
He is going to get fights after this. And just purely because of the fact he has a win over Munguia, a knockout win.
Yeah, he can cash this in.
It's gonna set him up.
I would I want to point out one other thing that I forgot to mention before is Bruno campaigns at middleweight, not super middleweight.
They pulled him up even. I didn't know that.
They pulled up a pillow hand and got knocked out for it. That is something.
That's wild, man.
I love when cherry picks go wrong, but I like Munguia, so I'm very torn about this because it's objectively hilarious. But
yeah, I mean, I like Munguia and everything too. You know, I've even said in the past that Munguia is gonna be like, you know, not quite to the same level as Canelo, like not anywhere near it, but like he's gonna be, you know, the guy that Mexicans start backing. After this, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think his ceiling is sort of evident here because like Canelo, I feel like Canelo could be 45. He's not losing to Bruno. This just sort of this lets us know like a little bit more of Munguia's like relative level. I mean, he got caught, but it shouldn't have happened.
Well, and you mentioned Canelo. What does this do to Canelo's legacy? Because like his wins have not been looking good lately.
They have not. They all have aged poorly.
Yeah, I'm an avid Canelo supporter, but this ain't looking good, Chief. This is not good. We need some serious wins. As soon as Munguia got knocked out, within like 5-10 minutes, I was like, we need that. We're talking about Canelo versus.
If you want to hear that fun little bit of banter, you're gonna have to go to patreon.com/LVXMediaNet. Get yourself signed up over there. It's like, who's the best fighter on the planet? Who would you want to represent us? Sure ain't gonna be Munguia.
Nope.
Does Bruno stay at 168? I think he should go back to 160 and try to use his fame here and get some title shots or something out of it.
I mean, if he beats Munguia twice.
Oof.
Oh, hell no. Munguia loses citizenship. He does that shit.
Man.
Hell no.
That's it for this one, unless you have anything more.
No, I think we shit on Munguia enough.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
To try to how I've been coping with this is my favorite book of all time, The Count of Monte Cristo. It's based in Marseille, so that's how I've been coping. Is Bruno's like a I don't know, centuries old port city hooligan, and that's why he's tough. All right, that's enough Munguia bashing. Moving on. Sunday, December 15th. First things before we get to the card in Osaka. Quickly, Mike Perez. This was the Platform Sports Europa Point Sports Complex in Gibraltar, where Dillian White fought Ebenezer Tete. How fitting, Ebenezer on the Christmas episode. Ebenezer Scrooge. It was stopped at the end of 6 going into 7. Tete just didn't want to come out. He had been like he looked pretty poor. Dillian White was just good enough to beat him like every round.
Yeah, Dillian White did not look good though.
He did not.
He looked fat and out of shape.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta say, it was a funny fight just from like the whole thing was just funny. Yeah. This is like one of those events. It's so bad that it's good type of thing. Peta walking out in a polo. I mean, Dillian White like crab walk into the ring. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing just had like an aura to it. It was just hilarious to watch. White almost like or White knocking himself down because he threw a hook too strong. This fight was just hilarious, man.
I did check out some of Ebenezer's other fights, and like 4 a.m.
Outside.
Yeah, outside. The ring it's not even like what's the usual like 18 or 20 by 20. This was like 10 feet by 10 feet. That
In a fucking park, like a public park.
Yeah, it was the ring looked like it was being held together by hopes and dreams. That's how fucking destitute the situation was. Like, I know that, life in different African nations can be really rough, but yeah, that was...
I don't think Ghana's that rough,
Not,
considered
in Accra,
in Africa.
Too? In Accra, of all places.
Some of the people and I were talking about this prior, and we were talking about how we had exchanged clips of some African boxing events. One in particular, they had like wood floor boxing rings. People like boxing over hardwood.
What?
Yeah. There's like videos on YouTube that we had found, like genuine boxing, like sanctioned boxing events, where they were fighting over hardwood. But like Teta, this was not like
Yeah.
This was a little bit below, I want to say, Can Crush, or at least intended to be. Ebenezer Teta was not like some elite opponent. Dillian White was meant to crush him, and I mean he did, but
yes, not very convincingly.
Yeah, I mean I gotta say, White was hitting Teta with some shots. This dude just his chin is sort of crazy because he got hit clean a good amount of times. He had like a thick neck absorbing all that impact.
But we all agree that Dillian White is not elite anymore, right? Like,
was
there
he?
were talks about. Well, but people talked about him like he
right.
was.
That's right. Talking about Dillian White, like, if Deontay Wilder can't beat Dillian White, then he shouldn't be fighting AJ.
Yeah, like there was a time where he was talked about
Yes,
in
you're
those
right.
like top 5 people, and just disappeared. I don't know. Dillian White is one of those ones I don't understand why his career tanked so badly.
The AJ and White fight is just iconic, though. It's how funny it was. The conversation surrounding White was always hilarious, though, because I think one of the biggest things after the AJ fight was him versus Wilder. I feel like that fight would have gone terribly for White.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like he would have gotten laid out, and Wilder might have even looked, genuinely, good, not just a power puncher type performance. But yeah, White is really. I hate to say this because I'm sure I don't know if, how White is in person, but White has sort of been there historically, at least, supported by data, just to get knocked out by elite fighters, just in general. I sort of got flamed.
So elite fighters, like
I got flamed for saying, that was great KO by Povetkin. The ring or the little ring piece that he fell on whenever he landed. I got flamed for saying that White would win against Chisora. I don't think it would be easy. I don't think it would be easy for White. I got flamed for saying this in the chat. You're talking, Chisora is terrible. Chisora's washed, but White is too. I don't know. I feel like at this age, and with how White has been recently, I feel like he would struggle against Chisora. And I say that
They fought before.
I say that with chest. I feel like if they did that now, this year, 2025 calendar year,
Yeah, if they did.
Chisora.
I don't know. Chisora's got more of a gas tank than White. Chisora might just outwork White.
It's called petrol tank.
Sorry.
Oh man.
The way someone described Chisora was hilarious. About like Chisora has more experience being washed than like other fighters, and that was just such a perfect description. Such a perfect description for Chisora.
That's the rationale.
Yeah, he has more experience being washed. And it's like I never thought of it, but when someone said it, I was like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense.
That does
This makes
make
perfect
sense.
Yeah."
Oh man. That was a lot more time than I had planned for Dillian White. But there you have it. So maybe we'll breeze over this one more quickly. Andrew Maloney is back, baby. KO3 over Jack Crowlett. Thai dude. Yeah. KO3, I cannot find any clips of this, not even like highlights.
I didn't even know this happened.
Yeah. It was tough to find the details for this. But there you have it. Andrew Maloney's back, still competing at 115. I expect he's going to try to get himself back into the title picture. Given that we're about to talk about it in a moment. Super flyweight is pretty hot right now for like the lower weights. So moving on to Osaka at the Sumiyoshi Sports Center. Shanada, you were there. Take us through this.
Yep. It's a fucking gymnasium, which is hilarious to me. And I had a slight fuck up. I thought I was buying stand tickets. I bought floor tickets, but it was great. Got there early. There was no concession stand. It was like small town hockey rink, buckets of ice with cans of beer in it. Loved it. On a Sunday.
That is a pretty nice Sunday.
Yeah, it was a good Sunday. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to catch the first train back to Tokyo and then to Chiba to make it to work, so my boss didn't know that I went to Osaka. But yeah, no, it was a good weekend. The fights were exciting, but the Japanese fights are always exciting. There's not that many people that I think anyone would have heard of.
Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are, except for Nishida.
Yeah, so the co-main was a Filipino guy, Kenneth Lover, versus, I think the guy was...
Tulio De Canarudo.
Yeah, I guess he's Japanese. It's not a very Japanese name. Anyways, Kenneth Lover really impressed me. I had never heard of him, and he came out and fucking steamrolled this guy. Like, as soon as he started moving in the ring, you could tell he was too good to be fighting people at this level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I sent a clip in Discord. I don't know if you saw it, but I think people should look up who Kenneth Lover is. He's very new. Or, well, not very new, I guess. He's got 12 fights. But I think people should look this kid up. I think he might be good. I'm going to put him on my prospect list for the year after seeing him once. So it was a really fast knockout. I think it was like 45 seconds.
Woof.
Yeah. And then the main event was also really good. Worth a watch.
Yeah, if I could find it. U-Next is impossible to get onto if you're not Japanese.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about that, Leo, and we can talk later, but I think in the first thing, you don't use katakana, you use hiragana for foreign names. And then the second line will be katakana.
Yeah, that's yep, of course. How did I not?
Yeah. No, and I might be wrong. They might just not take foreign names. I don't know, but anyways, Nishida got the KO by beautiful fucking liver shot. Just tore his liver out in the 7th round.
All right.
It was hard as hell to find highlights for this fight.
Yeah.
I had to go on like Twitter, like some random page.
Like people's phones uploading.
Yeah. But that was great. Yeah.
It was real good. Yeah, so I don't think Muto is a very big promotion.
No, that's the name of the gym.
I don't think Osaka is set up for world title fights at all. I don't think Nishida was supposed to get this belt, and he had contracts in place with a couple places for at least one more fight, and that's why this Sunday defense happened. Osaka was fun, though. I will say there were almost no men in suits. It was people who actually like boxing, and they were quite a bit louder.
Excellent.
One of the corners was Thai, and they quite often make kind of a very specific noise when their fighter lands a punch.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it. I've heard it in.
Yeah, you hear it in NFC all the time.
I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've heard Japanese people being assholes in a crowd. There was one guy that would make a goat noise afterwards every time.
What?
Yeah, I guess they thought it sounded like a sheep or something. First time I have seen like that kind of disrespectful in Japan. But overall, crowd was really good. At one point in between fights, some guy stood up and gave like a 30 to 40-second speech. Just screamed it in the gymnasium, up in the stands. Not anybody like important. And the announcers and everyone waited for him to finish before they announced the next ring walk. So that was something.
What?
I have no idea what he was yelling, but the entire crowd went silent, waited for him to finish his speech. It was clearly something he had memorized. I didn't really recognize any of the words. There was like a little bit of a golf clap afterwards, and then the announcer announced the next walkout. They had a t-shirt cannon, and the ring girls changed clothes twice throughout the night. Big production values.
Changed clothes.
Yeah, outfit changes.
Okay. Like they started out in these blue dresses that were very sporty, I think is how I would describe them. And then they changed into red with like sparkly silver. There was another one in between, but the red was for the main event. They really classed up the ring girls for the main event. So yeah, Osaka was an experience, and I'm glad I went. I did not like being on the floor though.
Floor fights are not very fun.
I think I might have fucked up and bought floor tickets for the Ioka fight as well. Yikes. Because I can't read, right? So
when you say it like that, it's so funny.
Yeah, but I'm just buying the third cheapest tickets. But I think in these small gymnasium fights, that's the floor. There's only 2 prices of stand tickets instead of 4, like there is in the stadiums. Might have fucked up. Might be on the floor for New Year's Eve. We'll see.
Let some details for Kenneth Lover versus Tulio de Rudo. Sorry, buddy. That was for the interim OPBF bantamweight title. In that organization has its own rankings that are separate from the WBC, the parent org. So Kenneth Lover is the number 1 contender to Keita Kurihara. So who knows when they'll reconcile that. But yeah, this is the type of belt that you get when you're on your way up.
Yeah, I think the Oriental Pacific belts are pretty well respected.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big milestone in the careers.
It is, from what I can tell. Like the Japanese Boxing Commission title, and then OPBF. And Ryosuke Nishida, KO7, IBF Bantamweight title. Well, hopefully we get
Yeah, I don't know
good out of
who they line up for him next. I would like to see a unification at this weight. All the titles are Japanese right now.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be able to start unifying some of them.
For Nishida, all the other people are Japanese. Fucking IBF still has Takuma listed for the WBA slot. Assholes.
Nishida versus Tsutsumi would be a fun fight, I think.
How does Nishida fight? Like, how does he carry himself?
He's very Japanese style.
Okay, that makes sense.
But more of a boxer, like a Japanese boxer rather than a Japanese brawler. I don't know how else, because the boxers still brawl a lot.
Yeah.
But more outside brawling than inside brawling.
Nakatani?
Not that much boxing. Maybe okay. Takuma.
Okay, got it.
Like,
Yoshiki Take.
Yeah, kind of that style. He does fight southpaw, which is a little unusual in Japan, I think.
Yeah.
And even southpaw, he still has a really good left hook, which I also feel is a bit of a rarity. Like, usually you hook with your lead hand.
Right.
So it's kind of a unique style, but very Japanese at the same time. I think he's exciting. I've only seen a couple fights because I didn't know who the hell he was before he got the belt either.
Yeah. He wasn't supposed to win.
No, he was not supposed to win. And like you said, it's impossible to find clips of him because he's only ever been in these small promotion fights. Like even searching his name in Japanese and getting my coworkers to help me look, there's very little online about him, which is why I paid money to go to Osaka.
I would say that Nishida was to Emmanuel Rodriguez as Bruno Saras was to Jaime Munguia. Except there's a title on the line.
Yeah. I mean, Nishida has more knockouts, I think. Oh, no, he has 2.
He has less.
So I am wrong. He has less knockouts.
Anything more for this Muto card?
No, it was a fun experience, but yeah, Osaka is not set up for big fights. I can see why everything happens in Tokyo.
All right, last thing on the recaps before we get into the one card for preview. On Tuesday, December 17th, Boxing Insider at the Sony Hall in New York. Boxing Insider Promotions, you canned my guy Kurt Scooby. His name is Scooby. Why would you not have him fight on your card? That is the dumbest shit ever. Kurt Scooby. Scooby is his fucking name. That's all I got for that one. Tuesday, December 31st. I found this as Lifetime Promotions. I don't know if that's what it actually is, but at the Otashi Gym in Tokyo, Fernando Martinez will be rematching Kazuto Ioka. What, IBF and WBA titles?
It's definitely 2 titles. I'm not sure which 2.
I'm pretty sure
I think
it's
so.
those. Yeah.
Right.
Bunch of shit that I don't know leading all the way up. I don't really know.
Let me have a quick look here. Yeah, I don't recognize any of the names.
I think Rene Alvarado?
I don't know, so
I gotta look at his face. I do not recognize that face. He is not a handsome man.
Mm-mm. Is he worse than Ray Vargas?
Similar?
Yeah.
His ears are smaller, but his lips are weirdly fish-like. Oh, I've seen this Sato. I think Sato is a pretty common last name here, but
Tsuyoshi?
yeah. I saw him at Korakuen Hall in one of the undercards, I think. Yeah, I got tickets for this one because I was at the first fight and it was a banger. And New Year's Eve combat sports in Japan is a very big thing. So
Yeah, they make it. This is like they do 2 dates that are really awesome for boxing specifically. December 26th, Boxing Day, ha 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 ha, get it? And then December 31st. Sometimes they have stuff on the 30th as well. I have seen that. But I think from the 26th to the 31st is like a combat sports fucking festival. They do everything.
yeah, there's like
Wrestling.
One has a big card, Ryzen has a big card.
Pro
Because
Wrestling has
wasn't it-
cards too.
What card was Garcia supposed to fight on?
I think the 26th.
Rising card, yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got canceled. Well, and obviously the Inoue fight was supposed to be on Christmas Eve, but that got
Upset
postponed.
on Christmas Eve.
Fuck that.
That's the gift that Goodman would be unwrapping is piecing apart Naoya Inoue in the ring to become undisputed champion.
Yeah, we got lucky. Cut saved him.
Yeah, but this Lifetime card, I don't really recognize anyone except Ioka, but I am a big Ioka fan, and the first fight was fireworks, so hopefully we get New Year's Eve fireworks this time.
Would be nice. I am hoping for Ioka as well. Underdog, it's always fun. And plus Martinez from Argentina, so there's that.
Yeah.
That's all we got for until the end of the year. It's fucking pretty light, but
I mean, everybody's kind of busy, and most of the big things got canceled.
that's true. A lot of good things got canceled.
We could have had Tank versus Roach.
I heard that got canceled and Campbell Hatton was going to step in.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That would have been honestly the People's main event, People's Fight of the Year.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Boxing B-Sides, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you're dying to tell us how casual you think we are, you can be a lame and you can text our anonymous line 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on business, call and leave a voice message. We'll see if you're entertaining enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUXPODS. You can't go wrong. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the rest of that shit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut out of the final releases for all kinds of reasons. So if you want the raw audio, exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up for Patreon, you can still help us out a lot if you hit us with a rating on whatever app you're listening on. If you're not feeling a $5, you have our number or you can hit the DMs. Let us know how we can earn that full $5. Intro and outro music by Middle of Nowhere Beats. And for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. Is Daigo Higa at 118?
I thought he was one below that.
No, he's at 118. He lost to Takei for the WBO title. That's right. They did my man Higa dirty. My fellow Urasoe bro.
Yeah.
Urasoe? Does that work?
I guess.
Yeah, the little part of the little town of Okinawa that he's from that's where I was stationed. It's the same spot. So we're basically best friends. And then there was the guy on the UFC Macau. His hometown was the city in Korea I was stationed in. So we are also best friends.
Which city is that you were in Korea?
Pohang, spelled Pohang.
Ah, yes, I knew that. Anyways,
Yeah,
I miss Norwegians.
Now, let me tie the bow on here. Oh wait, shouldn't we be untying the bow? Because it's a present. Yeah, I'm really good at this. Fucking happy Christmas, you fucks. Check out all the socials. Interactions with the post really help. Even if you just press share and don't actually send it to anyone, still helps. Yeah, but if you have any comments on the fights, like, you got my number, bitch. If you think I'm stupid, then tell me. Call me and tell me. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about how dumb I am to you. All right, let's fucking boogie. Boxing B-Sides. We'll see you on the other side of the new year with fucking picks. Best of the year awards. We'll see you then.
Yeah.